Good night, my friends of the darkness. Put on your headphones. Take a deep breath. And try not to look back. Tonight, you will hear the story of a man who slept for 50 years. And woke up in a world that was no longer his. A dead world, where silence echoes through empty corridors, and the smell of death is the only thing left. Close the doors, turn off the lights. Because what you are about to hear now is not just a story. It is a warning. The year is 2025. The month is May, at least that's what the small digital display blinking in the hallway says. The day number changes with some regularity, so I'm assuming it's correct. My name is Adam. I've been out of cryostasis for less than a week. I was part of an experiment that began in 1975, when I was 30 years old. The first men to be cryogenically preserved for future reanimation. I mean, who wouldn't want to be part of an experiment that would change the world? An experiment overseen by the best and brightest scientists of our time. Teams of doctors supported by the United States government. Nothing could go wrong. I've spent years of my life, dedicated every possible minute to the study of cryostasis. Well, no, you know what? That's as far as I can go. If I'm going to tell this, I'm going to tell the truth. The truth is, well, I barely know what the hell cryostasis is. I could barely pronounce the word. I'm a soldier, and I was part of an experiment. I volunteered in 1975, just after I turned 30. That part is true. My motive had more to do with the money the government offered. I'm not altruistic enough to raise my hand and volunteer for experiments that could make the world a better place for future generations or anything like that. I cared about the here and now, which is ironic, considering my here and now isn't where it used to be. I'm 50 years in the future, and I barely recognize anything I see. The idea was that 50 of us would volunteer. Our families would be well compensated and would never be in need. And we would wake up 50 years in the future, to be studied for the rest of our natural lives. What no one predicted was that the apocalypse would happen while we were frozen. The deep underground facility in Washington state is enormous. We were awakened in groups of 10 over the course of 5 days. I was in the first group, and everything seemed to be working automatically. Because there were no doctors or scientists running around, as we expected. Just as they expected in 1975. Looking back, I don't think any of those doctors or scientists would be alive today. And even if they were, they couldn't do much. It takes a while for your body to start behaving like your own body again after half a century in stasis. But I finally feel like myself again. Soon I'll start exploring the rest of the place, and the world, I hope. We're all just waiting for a green light from someone in charge. And surely they'll show up soon, or some automated program will tell us what to do over the PA system. I hope you hurry. The dorms are running low on MREs, rations. Things are getting worse here. Food is running out, and the other men are getting restless. Me too. I don't know how long they expect us to stay in the dorms and not enter the rooms with "Do Not Enter" signs. There were no announcements over the public address system, and no doctor appeared. I don't really know the others, and from what I can tell, they don't know each other either. Is the lack of supervision part of the experiment? Like, to see how we'd react? Would we form groups and make a plan to get out, get food, or help? But it doesn't really matter. I'll find a way out of the facility tomorrow. No one has said it out loud yet, but I know they're thinking the same thing I am. What if they put us down here and forgot about us? I, for one, won't sit like a rat in a cage waiting for a white coat that may never show up. It didn't take long for us to discover that we weren't in the same place we'd been 50 years ago. Some men decided to stay in the facility. They were convinced the wait was part of the experiment. Like fifth graders eager to pass the test, they refused to leave. I was ready to go alone, but apparently a few others had the same idea. I met them in the main tunnel. We followed the gentle incline until it leveled out, then followed the signs on the walls. The flashlights were of little help in the complete darkness where there were no overhead lights. I thought it was a shame they hadn't cryopreserved the energy as well. We didn't inspect the empty, sealed rooms or the smaller side tunnels. We just wanted to get out, breathe fresh air, see the sky again. Signed contracts be damned. My plan was to reintegrate into society, disappear from the scientists and the government, and live a normal life. After walking for an incalculable amount of time, hours, or perhaps a whole day, we reached the mouth of the tunnel. Stopping about 30 meters away, we looked at each other and then at the exit. All but 2 of us ran for freedom, shouting euphorically. But there was something wrong with the scene outside. Maybe it was a smell, a premonition. I turned off my flashlight and hid behind a pillar. And so it ends, another fragment of darkness. Adam woke up, but the world he found no longer had room for the living. Perhaps the real nightmare isn't dying, but waking up and realizing that death has won. If you've made it this far, it's because the darkness is calling you too. So, prove you're not afraid. Like this. Subscribe to the channel. And join us. Because the next awakening could be yours.